Sikkim 365 Radio and 365 Sports with Paul Catalina, Craig Smoak, and David Smoak. Armstrong Sims runs the mothership. And if you paid attention at all to college football, you had to pay attention to what they were doing at Western Kentucky. My God, the offense was amazing. Bowl team, they recently won, and in that game, Bailey Zappe broke the records that were just set recently. The Joe Burrow records from LSU in the national championship year. Jared Stearns, also a part of that Earl Campbell, Tyler Rose list of weekly winners, and Baylor Zappe, one of the finalists, joins us on Sikkim 365 Radio. Bailey, thank you very, very much for your time. And by the way, NFL scouts will love the fact that we said call it 4 and you called it 3:59. So right there and then, that's a good thing.
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, so what was it like to climb up the charts? I know winning is important, and you guys were a bowl team, and you won that bowl game, but getting up the charts in yards and passing and touchdowns, and then when you get there and break it, what did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Me and my teammates, we've been working hard all spring, all summer, and, in the fall camp, and it was something that, it was awesome to see come to fruition, all the hard work that we put in going into this year. And, the only thing I can really say is, I'm grateful for my teammates. Without them, none of those records would have been broken. I wouldn't be here today. And, I'm just, I'm blessed to have those guys on my team. And, it was a real special year.
Bailey, when did you kind of feel like you guys were going to even approach that many passing yards?
To be honest with you, I can't tell you which game. I remember Coach Kitley telling us, we're going to have a great year. We're going to put up a lot of numbers, a lot of points, break some records. But to be quite honest with you, I didn't think we were going to go break NCAA records. I think when we kind of first realized, I guess, when we were, close and that it was possible was after the conference championship game against UTSA. And, of course, we didn't win that game, but we knew we had one more game left that, we kind of wanted to ride out our last year, our last game together with the W. And we were able to get, all the records and the W in the last game. So it was a special game.
Bailey, you mentioned Coach Kitley there. He's obviously off to Texas Tech to join Joey McGuire's staff. A lot of Red Raiders fans pumped up about that. What should they know about Coach Kitley, and just what did he mean to you over the last year?
He's a heck of a ball coach. I credit, everything that I've been able to accomplish, and the reason why I'm here is because of him. He came to HBU when I was a sophomore. He turned my career in a 180. It's something that, I'm forever grateful for, him coming to HBU and him going to Texas Tech. They've had the air raid before. They loved it when it was there with Patrick Mahomes, and Nick Shimanek, and those guys. And with Coach Kitley coming to Texas Tech, it's something that they're going to put up a lot of points there. They have a bunch of, great players there, great quarterbacks, great receivers, and he's somebody that's definitely going to get the pieces together, and they're going to roll this year.
We understand if you try to stop that offense that it's basically just like it kills you. I mean, you absolutely run out of gas. Do the offensive players ever run out of gas? Will you run it so quickly?
Every once in a while, there'll be some that tap out for one or two plays and they'll come right back in. But Coach Kitley and the coaches do a phenomenal job. Conditioning wise and during the week in practices, and, we do like a tempo drill at the end of every practice in fall camp that, kind of like tries to help stimulate what we're going to do in the game and kind of get us game ready. But, every once in a while there'll be you see a guy tapping his helmet, but he's only out for one or two plays and he's right back in there. But, the receivers, they have, their job's hard. They have to they run down the field, run back, and, line up for tempos, and they have to be in great shape. And we had a bunch of guys this year that took that initiative and did everything they can to, be in the best possible shape they could be for the team. And, it showed out this year on the field.
Bailey, the transfer portal is a really interesting thing in college football. It can be used by guys who are going from LSU to Alabama or something like that, and kind of helps the rich get richer. But in your case, the transfer portal was you were a little bit overlooked, or maybe you weren't at the level yet that you would be at now, and you went to Houston Baptist on the FCS level, and the transfer portal gave you an opportunity to go to the FBS level. What was that experience like, being able to kind of play your way and show people that you could do something that you knew you could do, but maybe the rest of the football world didn't know you could do it, maybe outside of Coach Kitley?
Yeah, I'm very thankful for the transfer portal, because without it, I wouldn't be here today. That whole process, getting in a transporter, Coach Kelly going to, WKU is something that really changed my career around and, kind of put me here where I am today. And, I'm sure everybody has their opinions on transporter. There's good things and there's bad things. And, for a guy like in my position, somebody that, has a dream of going to the NFL and wants to put himself in a position, around better competition like, I was around this year, transporter is an amazing thing. And, I was very grateful for Coach Helton giving me the opportunity to come be a part of his program. And, it definitely worked out.
How have you been able to handle all of the unexpected or newfound attention this year?
We've really enjoyed it. I think every single one of us has enjoyed it. Speaking, personally for me and, the guys at HBU, we didn't get that much attention there. And, getting the attention that we are now here at WKU is, is awesome. It's kind of, like we're kind of happy about it. We're enjoying it. We're loving it. And, it's, for Jareth and Josh and Ben, they deserve it. And they've worked their butts off to get to this point. And, I'm proud of those guys.
The Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, Craig is the one that compiles the weekly nominations. I'm a voter. Cindy Smoak is the one that runs the award. Earl Campbell's name is attached to it along with his sons, Christian and Tyler. What does that mean to you to be a finalist for that award?
It means the world to me. I remember watching it back when, Patrick Mahomes was a finalist there. And, it's always, it's been a dream to be a part of one of those awards. And, I'm grateful and blessed to be a part of it. And I want to thank all the voters for voting me and be a finalist. And hopefully when we get there to the, ceremony, I'm the winner. But if not, I know the guy that does, definitely deserves it.
Bailey, you are a hilltopper now, and do they give you any kind of crash course on what an actual hilltopper actually is? And if you encounter one in the wild, how should you approach a big red monster?
I have no idea what a hilltopper is, to be honest with you. When we first got there, I remember asking one of the coaches. I actually asked Coach Kelly what it was. I mean, what's the hilltopper? Like, what's our mascot? And a bunch of people's answers, it's a big red blob. And then I know back in the days, it would walk around and eat people. Like it would walk around and eat a fan, like stick them in the costume. I mean, so I was, I went from a husky to a big red blob.
Yeah.
So,
what's the response been like in your hometown of Victoria?
It's been awesome. I haven't really been able to, go out and, go see my friends or anything. This is my first day back, but, a bunch of people have reached out to me, congratulated me. A bunch of friends from back home definitely hit me up and congratulated me. And, it's awesome to see those guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing those guys this week and, catching back up and, telling stories.
I believe, and I could be wrong, Bailey, your last year at Victoria East High School was 7-5. You had kind of a team that went a couple of rounds deep. And now look where you are. And you were overlooked even then, even though Houston Baptist was great. They wanted you to play football for them. Can you sometimes just stop and realize what's happened to you in recent years?
I'm trying not to. I know I have a big part of my life coming up in this draft process, but coming out of high school, only having that one offer from HBU, my main thing is my dad always told me, my mom, I just needed the opportunity to, just have that one opportunity to go to a team, go to a program and, showcase what I'm able to do. And luckily, and, Coach Shealy gave me the opportunity and, I'm grateful that he did that for me and, the rest is history.
Did you feel like at any point, like when you're at Houston Baptist, like you had maybe turned a corner and said, "Oh, this is all starting to come together now. I'm feeling more confident," and you wanted to show some schools what you could do?
Yes, sir. No, I mean, going into my junior year, we had a great year. I think we had like our best year at HBU. We went 5-7. We started building the program up, started winning more. And then going into my senior year before all the COVID stuff happened, it was going to be one of our better years. It was going to be one of the best teams we've had there at HBU. And then of course COVID hit, but just being there and being a part of that program and how it built and how I was able to be a part of that, from the kind of like the ground up is something special and something I'll never forget. And I definitely built relationships there that, will last a lifetime. And again, I'm blessed to be a part of that.
So, Bailey, in doing the Earl Campbell Awards stats every week, I mean, you are obviously a constant on there. I mean, pretty much every single week this season for the most part. But your teammate, and you mentioned him a little bit earlier, Jerry Stearns, another Texas native, nearly 2,000 receiving yards this year. And I know he wasn't your only target. You had Mitchell Tinsley, who went for 1,400 as well. So just an amazing 1-2 combination there. But with Jareth, can you just kind of describe the relationship you guys have built and the combination and the 1-2 punch that you guys created, especially this season?
Yes, sir. We've been able to build, quite a connection these past 4 years. He was at HBU with me for 2.5 years, and we played this year, of course. So, throughout that time, we've kind of off the field, we became best friends. We've been able to build a great relationship off the field, and I think that's really helped translate onto the field on, having the same thoughts, kind of having that, we always joke around that we have telepathy. We're thinking the same thing at all times, but, just the way we've been able to build that relationship on and off the field over these past 4 years and kind of seeing it come to fruition this year. And he's a great ball player. I mean, he's smart. I've learned a bunch of things from him over this past few years on the football field, and he's definitely somebody I rely on in, tough and close situations. And, he's definitely bailed me out of a lot of situations and made me look good in a lot of situations as well. And, I'm definitely grateful to have a receiver like that, my 4 years in college.
Well, there's no question it's a great relationship with you in Western Kentucky, Houston Baptist, and now whatever is now in your future with the NFL.
I keep skipping over the HBU stuff, and not intentionally, but it's just like, I don't mean to, Bailey, but I kind of so focused in on this year with Western Kentucky and completely forgot about Jareth also transferring alongside you as well. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I mean, we were able to do it all together. It's awesome. His little brother Josh also came with us, so we were able to. It made the transition a lot easier going from HBU to WKU, also all being best friends, and it made the transition a lot more smoother. Us getting everybody on the team, becoming a part of the brotherhood, and kind of where me and Jareth, especially kind of being coaches on the field. He's coaching the receivers, I'm coaching the running backs, the O line, and before the coaches could have got out there and done stuff with us. So. Us two did a great job in the spring and the fall, or in the summer, kind of being a coach on the field.
You also experienced not only the exhilaration of what you guys did with football, the records, et cetera, the bowl win, what you did for Western Kentucky football in the school, but you also experienced the tragedy of what happened with Mayfield, Kentucky, which is a couple of hours from Bowling Green. What did that mean to the state and how people rallied around Mayfield, Kentucky?
I think it meant a lot getting that win in Boca Raton. We're able to get that win, and it gave us more motivation going into that week to kind of win it for those people that were affected in Bowling Green and in Mayfield. I was lucky not to have anything affected by tornadoes. I know we had a few teammates that did, and it's something that was, like you said, was devastating. And going into that week, the Boca Raton and the bowl game. We knew that we had to get this win for, everybody that was affected, and we were able to do that. And, if there's ever anything I can do, I told many people back there, let me know, and I'll fly up there and do anything I can to help out.
Wow, that's awesome. And good for you and everybody else, because you rally around that kind of thing. Tyson Helton, what does he mean to you?
Oh, man, he's awesome. I love Coach Helton. He's somebody that I definitely leaned on. Being with Coach Keeley for 4 years, I've learned a bunch of stuff with Coach Keeley, and learned his verbiage of everything in the football world, and being able to go up there to Western Kentucky and kind of hear from his Coach Helton side, the old head kind of football aspect of what he has to say. He might get mad at me for calling him old, but kind of the old head side of it. And I learned a bunch of stuff from him, football-wise, on the field and off the field. And, we keep in touch every day. We've been able to build a great relationship over this past year. And, I'm definitely grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of his program. And, it's something that, will last a lifetime, being able to have that relationship with him.
Hey, he's 44.
Wait a minute. He was born the year I graduated from high school, Bailey. He was born when I graduated from high school.
Well,
I am super old head.
Yeah.
Golly. I love. There goes my vote right there. You're out. You're done.
So Bailey,
I'll take it back. Let me take it back.
Bailey said that, and I thought, man, I've seen their coach.
Yeah.
He looks young.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like old. Like I'm thinking, well, maybe he just looks young for like being 60. No, he's 44.
Yeah, he's 44. That's 44 years ago. I graduated from high school. But thank you, Bailey. Anyway, we appreciate that. Bailey Zappe, Western Kentucky, record-breaking quarterback, with us on Sick on 365 Radio and 365 Sports.
So Bailey, what you mentioned you're back in Victoria, and I'm sure you're gonna, be able to see friends and family and all of that. But as far as that whole NFL draft process goes, I know you need to probably catch your breath. It's been a long season, but what does that look like now for you? What are kind of people telling you? What are you preparing for? How much of a break do you get? How's all that kind of work?
Well, speaking of draft and everything, I've heard everything. I've heard third or fifth round, stuff like that. I mean, of course, nobody will ever know until it happens. It's hearsay stuff. But, I've got an agent signing this week. I've gotten a place where I'm going to train at. So I'm doing all that logistical stuff right now. And, actually this Sunday, I'm actually headed down south to go hunting for a week and a half to kind of decompress, get away from football, relax, and kind of start getting ready for that whole training for 8 straight weeks and doing the Senior Bowl and all that stuff. So, I'm just going to try to sit back, relax, reminisce, and get ready.
All right, so you're going to go hunting, and just that is about as much of a decompression time just to get out in the wilderness, right, and nature, and just enjoy all of that, right?
Yes, sir, no doubt. Put the phone away and go sit in the deer stand.
Go find a hilltopper. I don't know what you're going to – whatever the hell that is, as you mentioned. We're having fun with that. Hey, Bailey, thank you. Brian Falkowski is the one who set this up. He's the sports information, athletic communications for Western Kentucky football. It's been great to go back and forth with him. We appreciate your access. Anything else, Craig?
Yeah, I mean, Bailey is just somebody who was reading your stats every week and following along. Just congratulations on an incredible year. I know you started off hot and then you kept on every single week, and it was amazing to see what you did and what Coach Kitley did and what Jareth did as well. A lot of great representation from the state of Texas, and I know the folks at the award are very excited about you being a part of the group, and we'll see what happens, obviously, but man, just congrats on an awesome year, and I know it's probably a little overwhelming, but man, just looking forward to your very bright future.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And now the Campbell Award banquet is in early January. You're going to be probably tied down, but if you can get your agent to get you to that banquet, it's worth it because Earl Campbell's going to be there along with somebody else, a lot of others as well. So good luck with that. Bailey, it's been wonderful to have you on the show. To put up your phone, let us leave you alone. Western Kentucky says thank you. Houston Baptist says thank you. And we say thank you as well. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
What a great personality. What a young man. What a story. Grad transfer. Ended up just shattering the great records by Joe Burrow, among others. And just, good for him.
Yeah, I won't sleep tonight because I totally blanked on his connection with Stearns going back to HBU and even to an extent Kitley. And you know what? I blame the transfer portal because I kind of partly do because it's so hard to keep track of where everybody's from and wherever. And like when I look at players now, I have to go like if a guy was at Oklahoma, I could just know he played at Oklahoma. Now I have to go and double check and make sure that he wasn't at like Pitt for a year and then he transferred to Oklahoma. And I have to do that for almost every player now. That's not like memorized where I go like, oh, I know Gary Bohannon's always been at Baylor, but other places is like, he was at USC for 2 years and then. But yeah, I mean they did a great job at Houston Baptist. That isn't a program either that gets really any attention, quite frankly, in this state. I mean maybe a little bit down south, but. For the most part, they're not on the forefront of the talk in college football because they're a younger, smaller program at the moment. But you're producing guys like that, and they're going off to do the things that they're doing. That's going to bring a lot of positive attention to HBU, and obviously that was a tremendous trio alone of just Kitley, Stearns, and Zappe that went off to Western Kentucky. But, yeah, he lit it up every week. 5 touchdowns pretty much every single week. 5 touchdowns, if not 6. Bare minimum would be like 4 a week. And he just kept doing it week after week, and it was just incredible to watch, and good for him. Seems like a good young man, and wishing him the best.
Think about this. The Western Kentucky football program, Baylor defensive coordinator Dave Roberts was there as a head coach. Jack Harbaugh, Willie Taggart, Jeff Brom, and now Tyson Helton. Bobby Petrino was there for the 1 year, but a list of some guys that have been very successful, and Dave Roberts now, of course, the defensive coordinator for Dave Aranda at Baylor.
Roberts is
I'm sorry, Dave Roberts was the head coach at Baylor at one point. I'm sorry, that's right. Ron Roberts, the defensive coordinator. Dave Roberts was there for Baylor. It wasn't very long, was it, Paul?
Nope.
During that very tough stretch. Sorry about that. When we come back, he's a state championship quarterback.